Yo, what's up, DFS players? Hope you've been tailing me on this kind of epic win streak we've been on PrizePicks. So we have been absolutely crushing it. So 7 of 8. Let's go through the best player props for today. So I know I already have some open. So if I actually go to my entries, I have a ton of different entries open, but we're going to go through some new ones. So again, you want to use data to find sharp DFS picks on PrizePicks. Doesn't matter if you're betting on the MLB, the NBA, the NFL, whatever. As a sports bettor, as a DFS player, it's all about finding edges, finding value. So I found some value and we're going to go through it. So the first pick I have is Jason Alexander under 3.5 strikeouts, minus 137 implied odds on PrizePicks. 2.86% profit margin. Now, if these numbers seem like, whoa, those numbers are coming from nowhere, they're not. Everything is rooted in math, right? So again, the way that PrizePicks works, we can go through it very briefly, is any two picks you select. Doesn't matter. If it's the overs or the unders, it does not matter. Any two picks you select, you are going to be getting plus 200 odds. Right? The payout doesn't change depending on if I switch from overs to unders or I switch picks, 20 to win 60. So essentially, you're getting plus 200 odds on any two pick entry, right? 20 to win 40 in profit plus your $20 stake back. So that's just plus 200 odds. So essentially, because of that, you need to win a third of your PrizePicks entries to break even. Right? You win 100 or you win 200 if you're staking 100. You win 200, you lose 100, you lose 100. If you win 1 out of 3 two-pick power plays on PrizePicks, you're breaking even. So ideally, you're winning your two-pick entries 40% of the time or 36% of the time, right? But you definitely don't want to be winning them 1/3 of the time, 1/4 of the time, 25%. So essentially what that means, right, if we take the square root of 0.333, we take the square root of 1/3, you need to win 57.74% of your PrizePicks entries to break even, right? So ideally, you're winning your player prop 60% of the time. So 57.74% has an implied odd, right? An implied price of minus 137, which you can see, just using a no vig odds calculator. So first of all, just look at the value here, right? Like when sportsbooks are heavily juicing the under, that means that all of the sportsbooks are, right? You can see that here. That means that the sportsbooks, they think the under is much more likely to hit than the over is, right? That's why sportsbooks have the under juiced. So what's fascinating about PrizePicks is this platform is ridiculous in that they're giving you the same price on the over and the under, right? That's what's so crazy about PrizePicks. Whereas the sports books, obviously, they have the under much more juiced. They think the under is much more likely to hit, right? So Pinnacle Sportsbook, the sharpest bookmaker, they're pricing the over at plus 130, the under at minus 176. So if we put that into a zero vig odds calculator, what this calculator does is it essentially quantifies mathematically how likely is your bet to win based on the sportsbook's market. So we're taking the market from Pinnacle, the sharpest bookmaker, right? That's where we're taking our market from. And we can see our bet is 59.46% to win, which beats this break-even win percentage that we need to beat on PrizePicks, which is 57.74%, right? We're getting a higher win rate than the break-even win rate, which is exactly what we want. So if this calculator seems, kind of like, oh, where are these numbers coming from still, what you have to remember is, sportsbooks, they imply win probabilities through their odds, right? If two teams are the same odds, minus 110, then the sportsbook thinks they're equally likely to win, right? 50% each, if they're giving you the same odds on both teams. If a fighter is, in the UFC is minus 1,100 and his opponent's plus 900, he's going to be 90% to win, right? Obviously, the sportsbooks think he's very likely to win. So you can quantify win probabilities mathematically by removing the vig, removing the juice from a sportsbook's market, which is exactly what we're doing using odds from Pinnacle, the sharpest bookmaker. So that's the first pick I have is, where is it? So Jason Alexander under 3.5 strikeouts. And then the second pick I have is going to be Sandy over 6. So we'll go through that in a sec, but first I want to lock it in before it moves. So I want Sandy over 6, and I want Jason Alexander under 3.5. 2-pick entry. Lock it in. Boom, go. So next player prop is open. Sandy over 6 strikeouts, Jason Alexander under 3.5 for the reasons we just discussed. Again, that Jason Alexander pick was just straight from the OddsJam Positive EV betting tool. So we go here, you just find him right here. That's the bet you want to be on, right? You always want to be on the bet in bold with a circle around it. That is the sharp, mathematically profitable player prop you want to be on. 2.86% profit margin, so pretty good profit margin. Now the second pick I have is Sandy over 6 strikeouts. So I found this bet on the middle tool. I found this MLB strikeout prop, right? So I use all the tools on OddsJam to try to find these line of inefficiencies in profitable DFS picks. So here's the reason I like it, right? All the sportsbooks are setting Sandy over 6.5 strikeouts, right? And they're heavily juicing the over. You can see Pinnacle has the over 6.5 juiced all the way to minus 166. PrizePicks, right? They're pricing this at a line of 6, which is pretty crazy, right? Obviously, you'd rather bet over 6 strikeouts than over 6.5, because if Sandy has, let's say, 6 strikeouts, our bet on the sportsbooks would lose, but our pick on PrizePicks would be a push, right? So because the sportsbooks are heavily juicing over 6.5, that makes us really like over 6 on PrizePicks, right? All the sportsbooks are heavily juicing over 6.5, as you can see here. So I locked it in. And that's my player prop on PrizePicks. Any questions you have, comment them below. Let's make some money.